Have you ever wondered how the video games you love today came to be? It's a journey that began over half a century ago in the realm of gigantic mainframe computers and binary code. The first known video game, Spacewar, was born out of this era in the early 1960s. This wasn't a game you could play at home, oh no. It was a game that was played on a computer that was the size of a room, and it was created by a small group of MIT students, simply for the joy of creating something new. But it was in the 1970s that video gaming truly began to take shape. This was the era of the first home console, the Magnavox Odyssey. And while it was primitive by today's standards, with its monochrome visuals and limited gameplay, it was a groundbreaking development. For the first time, people could play video games in the comfort of their own homes. This wasn't just a toy, it was a revolution. Yet the Odyssey was only the beginning. The 1970s also saw the rise of arcade games, with titles like Pong and Space Invaders captivating audiences worldwide. These weren't just games, they were cultural phenomena. They created communities, brought people together, and made gaming a mainstream pastime. Pong, with its simple two-dimensional graphics, was addictive in its simplicity, while Space Invaders, with its iconic pixelated aliens, brought a new level of excitement and competition to the gaming world. These early games and consoles may seem rudimentary now, but they were the pioneers, the trailblazers that led the way for everything that followed. They were the first steps in a journey that has brought us to where we are today, a world where video games are a part of everyday life. The 1970s laid the groundwork for the gaming industry, but the best was yet to come. So buckle up, because we're just getting started. The history of video games is a wild ride, and we're about to delve even deeper into the story. As we stepped into the 1980s, video games started to take a familiar shape. This was the era that introduced us to the Nintendo Entertainment System, or NES, a console that would forever change the face of gaming. The NES was more than a gaming console. It was a revolution. It brought us the iconic Super Mario Bros., a game that introduced a new kind of hero, one that didn't need a sword or a gun, just a well-placed jump. The success of Super Mario Bros. Was unprecedented, turning the pixelated plumber into a household name. But the NES was not a one-hit wonder. It also launched The Legend of Zelda, a game that took us on an epic adventure through dungeons and across vast landscapes, all in a quest to rescue Princess Zelda. This game not only introduced us to a new kind of storytelling in video games, but also set the stage for the open-world games that we enjoy today. However, the 1980s were not just about success. The video game industry also faced its biggest challenge during this decade. The video game crash of 1983, a massive recession in the video game industry, caused many companies to go bankrupt. But from the ashes of this crash, the industry was reborn, stronger and more innovative than ever. The late 1980s and early 1990s saw a fierce competition between two giants of the gaming industry, Nintendo and Sega. This rivalry pushed both companies to their limits, leading to the creation of some of the most iconic games and consoles of all time. The Sega Genesis, with its blast processing and edgy mascot, Sonic the Hedgehog, was a formidable opponent to the NES. The intense competition between these two companies not only drove the development of better games and consoles, but also shaped the direction of the video game industry. The 1980s and 1990s were a time of great innovation and competition in the gaming industry, setting the stage for the modern era of gaming. As we entered the new millennium, video games began to resemble the immersive experiences we know today. The gaming world was about to be revolutionized, and much of this can be attributed to the PlayStation 2. Launched in the year 2000, this console took the world by storm, quickly becoming the best-selling console of all time. It was a game-changer, quite literally. Beyond its sleek design and user-friendly interface, the PlayStation 2 offered an extensive library of games, featuring everything from high-speed racing titles to epic fantasy adventures. Its DVD playback feature also made it a popular choice for home entertainment systems, further cementing its place in gaming history. But the PlayStation 2 wasn't the only player making waves in the new millennium. Enter Xbox Live, Microsoft's online gaming service, which launched in 2002. Offering a shared platform for gamers to compete and cooperate, Xbox Live revolutionized the way we play. Suddenly, you could challenge your friends to a match of Halo from the comfort of your own home, no matter where in the world they might be. This ushered in a new era of social gaming, transforming video games into a medium for connection and camaraderie. Speaking of Halo, let's talk about the evolution of graphics and gameplay mechanics. Halo, which debuted on the original Xbox in 2001, set a new standard for first-person shooters. Its expansive world, intricate storyline, and innovative combat mechanics made it a hit among gamers, while its groundbreaking graphics showcased the true potential of the medium. But it wasn't just the action-adventure genre that was evolving. The Elder Scrolls series, for instance, was pushing the boundaries of role-playing games. With its sprawling open-world environments, complex narrative threads, and deep character customization options, the Elder Scrolls series offered an unparalleled level of immersion. Gamers weren't just playing a game, they were living it. Meanwhile, the rise of indie games and digital distribution platforms like Steam began to democratize the gaming industry. No longer were game developers confined to large studios with massive budgets. Now, anyone with a good idea and a passion for gaming could create and distribute their own games. This led to a surge of creativity in the industry, with indie hits like Braid and Limbo challenging conventions and pushing the boundaries of what a video game could be. So there you have it. The 2000s were a time of rapid evolution and innovation in the gaming world. From the PlayStation 2's dominance to the rise of online gaming, from the leaps in graphics and gameplay to the democratization of game development, this decade laid the groundwork for the immersive, social, and diverse gaming landscape we know today. The 2000s brought us into the modern era of gaming. But what does the future hold? As we look forward, the future of gaming holds endless possibilities. Imagine a world where you don't just play games, but you actually live in them. Virtual and augmented reality technologies are on the cusp of turning this dream into reality. With virtual reality, we could be diving into fully immersive worlds, battling dragons or racing starships right from our living rooms. Augmented reality, on the other hand, has the potential to transform our everyday environments into interactive game spaces. Imagine your morning jog turning into a quest to collect virtual treasures, or your local park becoming a battlefield for a capture the flag game. But the future of gaming is not just about playing games. It's also about watching them. Esports, or competitive video gaming, has seen massive growth in recent years. We're now seeing sold-out arenas, professional players, and even college scholarships for esports. It's clear that gaming as a spectator sport is no longer a niche pastime, but a mainstream entertainment phenomenon. However, the future of gaming also brings with it certain challenges. The ongoing debate about loot boxes and microtransactions, for instance, raises questions about the ethics of game design. As games increasingly rely on these monetization strategies, it's crucial that the industry finds a balance between profitability and player experience. Another exciting development in the gaming world is the potential for cross-platform play. The dream of playing your favorite game with friends, regardless of the platform they're on, is getting closer to reality. And let's not forget the impact of cloud gaming. The ability to stream games directly from the cloud could make high-end gaming accessible to everyone, eliminating the need for costly hardware. The future of gaming is a vast frontier, and it's an exciting time to be a gamer. Whether you're a player, a spectator, or a developer, the opportunities are limitless. So buckle up, because the gaming journey is just getting started. From humble beginnings to a multi-billion-dollar industry, video games have come a long way. Let's take a moment to reflect. We began in the 60s and 70s, when the first pixelated blips bounced across the screen, marking the birth of a new era. Then, we journeyed through the golden age of the 80s and 90s, where video games evolved from simple arcade games to complex narratives in a world of polygons and pixels. As we ventured into the 2000s, we entered the modern era of gaming, a time when technology and storytelling merged to create immersive, interactive experiences. And as we look to the horizon, we see the potential future of gaming, full of promise and uncharted territories. So next time you pick up your controller, take a moment to appreciate the long journey video games have taken to get to your screen. Who knows where they'll take us next?